Alrighty, so we're gonna get started here. We're learning Zoom basics today, which is, we've now been using Zoom for quite a bit now, but there are so many ins and outs to it. And I know a lot of people never really learn all the full things that you can do with Zoom. So today we're gonna be going over all of the basics. And I just want to do a huge thank you to the Realtors Broward, Palm Beaches, and St. Lucie for allowing us to host this class. It's always great. It's a great association to be a part of, and it's great to see some new names that I haven't met before. So always a pleasure to do these classes and help teach you guys as much as we can to help you guys get along and navigate this virtual world a little bit better. So we are going to get into this, but before that, I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit so that you guys know who you're talking to. My name is Lucy McGuire, and I am the Business Development Officer of Arrow Title Services. We are located in Stuart, Florida. We do handle real estate closings all over the state of Florida, but of course, we're here along the Treasure Coast, and we do a lot on the Treasure Coast naturally. And we just love being a part of our community and really just helping our clients and guiding them in every which way we can, just being a resource for them. So me, in the last year and a half, really in my whole position with Arrow, but especially in the last year and a half because of COVID, I have really delved into the social media world and helping clients on navigating that social media world. So we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook page, of course. We also have a YouTube channel, which is Arrow Title Services, which please feel free to reach out and or look it up, because we have a lot of informational videos on title insurance on there. As well as just information. Oh, we have all of our classes on there too, of like previous classes that we've done about social media, just about title in general or real estate. So I've delved into that world and it's just been awesome. But I've loved working for Arrow Title. It's an amazing company that's locally owned and operated by Michelle, who's been in the industry for nearly 30 years. I am a Martin County native. I'm born and raised in Jensen Beach, which is few and far between in this area, it seems. I don't meet many locals, but it's always interesting to me to hear where other people are from. And like I said, yeah, I've just delved into the social media world, and I host like weekly rooms or weekly videos, I should say, on our Arrow Title Services Facebook page and our YouTube channel, where we post all of our videos. We do like a market update Monday with local realtors. We do a Thursday's top tips in real estate, which is kind of on the buying side of things, talking about just the different topics that we have, and we have lenders and realtors come on there. So I would love for you guys to just go and check that out. It's just great information. So I'm always here if you ever have any questions. And the one thing that I always mention in any of my classes and just in general in life is that the one thing in life that is constant is change. And I true-heartedly believe that. That is something that I think in this last year and a half, we can really all relate to. It is consistently changing, especially in the real estate industry. And we have to move and vibe and go with it and kind of learn all of these different aspects. So I'm glad that you guys are here with me today to learn a little bit more about Zoom and all that Zoom has to offer and how you can kind of integrate it a little bit more into your business or utilize it a little bit better. We have this basics class, so I'm going to go over kind of the things that we're going to be going along into this class. And we also have an intermediate class coming up and how that's going to be structured. But as you guys know, internet is taking the world by storm, along with video, and video is really important in our society and just in our marketing aspects so much. So if you can utilize video and you haven't started utilizing video, now is the time. Now is the best time to just get in there and just get started. And if you ever need help with any of that, I'm always open and willing to help. I will also be leaving my information in the description if you ever need it, or in the chat. So what we're going to be going over today and how to use Zoom is going to be from the perspective of you as the user. So, how to rename yourself, virtual backgrounds, viewing participants, raising your hand, the chat box, screen, how to share your screen, switching viewer modes, and mute and unmuting yourself. So kind of like all the little basics behind Zoom that you may or may not have known. And then we're going to have our intermediate intermediate class later on in the month on the 28th of May. And that'll be more from the perspective of you as a presenter and the host of the Zoom, and like kind of all the functionalities behind that, because there's quite a bit on Zoom that you can do. You can even share Zooms to Facebook Live and everything like that. So there's a lot you can utilize with it. But knowing these core basics are really important so that you can move quickly throughout Zoom. Now, Zoom does, in my opinion, work best on computers. You just have a lot more versatility. You're able to see things better, but they have really made it very useful on your phone as well. You can even have virtual backgrounds on phones now, and they are trying to integrate the system. It's updating all the time. There's updates always available. So a lot of people use Zoom on their phone, and that's completely fine. Just know that the aspects and the features most of them are available. They're just in a little bit of different places. Oh, I'm sorry. Was someone trying to speak?
Estoy aprendiendo Zoom.
Oh, I think someone just accidentally unmuted themselves. Okay. So, yes. So yes, if you're looking on the phone, it might just be in a different spot than where you're used to if you're looking at it on the computer. So just wanted to mention that. And navigating the screen on Zoom. And when we go throughout this, again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Navigating the screen, we're going to go through the portions that are going to be on the computer as well as what's going to be on the phone. So just if you have questions, just let me know. But there's going to be some questions you might have that will kind of be like reviewed later on. It's just kind of like the flow of how we're going to go over it. So navigating the screen on Zoom. If you're on a computer, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to have there's a few different ways that you can participate. Someone said that they have found that Zoom does not support Chromecast on Android, which is disappointing. Yeah, Chromecast is very interesting. It's an interesting interface to work with. But you're on Android. If you're just using your Android phone and you download the app, you shouldn't have any issues though. Are you having issues with that, Jerry? Because it should just be normal on the Android phone, unless it's like a Chrome. But so when you're navigating the screen here on your computer, you're going to see, your mute button is going to be at the corner of the left corner. You're going to see the stop video, which if these don't have slashes through them, then that means that it is on. And then you're going to have your participants, you're going to have the chat box, you're going to have the share screen functionality, which is always in green. You're going to have the record button and the reactions. Now there have been some other updates and everything like that. So when you're navigating through these, sometimes they might add different things as updates come out and everything. I know that the reactions and such sometimes, and then it will also look different for you if you are a admin or if you are someone who is hosting. So just keep those in mind, that there might be something added or subtracted depending on the functionalities that the host gives you as a participant. But these are like the key core things that are going to show up for you. And of course, leaving the meeting. So those are the basics that are shown across the bottom of the screen in general. And when you're looking at the phone, you'll see if these are in a few different places. So you have the mute and unmute, the stop video, the share functionality, the participants, and then the more. When you click on more, you'll see you can disconnect your audio. You'll have the chat. You won't see the claim host. That's from my perspective, because I had to be able to see it, I had to log into multiple things so that I could go ahead and screenshot these for you. You can raise your hand or lower your hand from here, and you can see the meeting settings as well. But when you come up here, this is where you'll leave the meeting. And this is where your audio will be here, and how you connect to the audio. And this is like if you're sharing your screen, because when you're on a phone, you have the ability to be able to look at yourself with your front camera and then your back camera as well. So if you were looking at your back camera, you could switch the camera views by clicking on this camera view up here. So it's just a little bit different in where things are and a little bit of functionality aspects when you're on the phone. So just be aware of that when you're doing that and looking at that. Are there any questions about the basics of just like where things kind of are on the screen? We're going to go into the details of each of those and kind of how you utilize those as well as we move on. So just want to make sure. Okay. So when you're viewing participants on your Zoom, this is a way that you can kind of navigate and see who is actually on the Zoom. There's going to be two different views when you're on the computer. Now, we're going to go a little bit more into depth of these different views and what they look like a little bit later on. But you have the fill screen mode, and then you have the full screen mode. So when you're on full screen mode on your computer, your participant box is going to pop out, and so is your chat box. So both of these are going to pop out, and you're going to see them as separate entities that you can move around and everything like that. Now, when you're in the fill screen mode, which is just to fill your screen and you're not going to full screen, it will still take up like all of your screen, but then the participants and the chat box will be listed on the side, and that's usually on the right side of your screen. So when you pull up the participants, you'll be able to see them here, and then you'll also be able to see you know, who's muted, who has their camera on, and then if you bring up the chat box, it'll pop up right here on the bottom as well. And then you'll also be able to see like where you can invite people or mute yourself and stuff like that. There's some additional settings there that you can find. One of the things that you really have to understand about Zoom is there are some things that you can literally find in like 3 different spots, which we're going to talk about in some of the features later. But you can literally find things in 3 different places sometimes. So they try to make it easy on like how you can find things like muting yourself or just navigating a little bit. So that's how you view the participants from the aspect of the computer. When you're viewing participants from your phone, you're going to click on the participants at the bottom, and then it will show you the list of the participants who are on there. It does usually do these in alphabetical order unless someone is speaking. So if, like, let's say, for instance, you guys go to the participants list that we have on right now of the people on our Zoom, you'll obviously see that I'm at the top, and you'll see that I'm the one sharing and recording and speaking, and I have my camera on, and you'll be able to see like who has their cameras on and everything like that with the little camera buttons, as well as if someone were to unmute, it would bring them to the top of that page of that participants list. So then all the people who are unmuted will be at the top of that, but otherwise it's in alphabetical order. So that is something that kind of like you can keep in the back of your mind if you're trying to look for someone on there, or like private message someone, or even if you're on the host side of things, like where you're hosting the Zoom, that can be helpful for you to be able to find people or go through the list. So that's where you find the participants list on the phone. And you kind of have that aspect of being able to navigate that a little bit better. Jerry said some meeting hosts disable the view participants feature, wonder why. You know, honestly, when it comes to, depending on the host capabilities, there's like a webinar view, and then there's like the normal Zoom call, which is like what we're doing right now. So the webinar view is a lot different with Zoom. But yeah, you're right. The host capabilities, they have capabilities to literally change every like little aspect. And some of them I don't think mean to disable these certain things. Maybe they do, but from my experience, I've seen a lot of people host Zoom meetings and like they're not aware, like even with the share screen functionality, they're trying to share the screen, or a participant is trying to share a screen, and it like won't allow them the ability to be able to share the screen. And the host is God then. Yeah, like I just think that a lot of times they don't know, like if you go into the settings of Zoom, there's so many little settings that you can put in there to create like the Zoom to be what you want it to be. And I think a lot of people just don't go through those aspects well enough to be able to No, and that's kind of something, again, that's in the intermediate aspect of the Zoom world and like being a host, and, you know, knowing these basics is super important. And then you can go into like the intermediate of like how to be a good host on Zoom and how to navigate it properly. Like knowing these basics are core, and then like adding on top of it, because there's a million and one things you can add on top of it to utilize Zoom. So yeah, no, you're right, Jerry. That's funny. So how to rename yourself. This is such a huge one, especially if you are logging in on an iPhone. A lot of times when you log into an iPhone, or even, it actually doesn't matter if it's an iPhone, it could be like an iPhone or your number or something like that. It will say iPhone, or it will say your phone number or whatever it might be. And you want people to know who you are when you're logging into these Zoom meetings, as well as I've seen people log in to their Zoom and it be like, oh, they're logging in on their son's account or something like that or whatever. And then that account is being it says their son's name, and then they're like, oh, well, that's not my name. I don't know how to change it. And like people are confused. Debbie, yes, I am recording right now. So this will also be on our YouTube channel. Again, Arrow Title Services. So you guys will get an email from me that will show you guys this recording. It'll have the link to it, as well as you can check it out on our YouTube channel too. That'll be where the link directs you to anyways. So yes, Debbie, there will be a recording. All right. So yes, renaming yourself is super important. I think it's one of the first things you should check on when you get onto your Zoom, because you want to make sure that people know who you are. Don't mind my beautiful face and my facial expressions while I was trying to screenshot these. I thought it would be funny comedic value for you guys. Yes, Debbie, and let me make sure that that's Debbie Jensen. Yeah, I've got that. I'm glad I can provide some comedic value for you with my like space background. I'm super cool. Yeah, Debbie, I've got your email address from the roster that you guys registered. So don't worry, you'll get it all. So right next to my beautiful face, you can see the participants list and everything. So one of the places that you can go to rename yourself on the computer is you can go to the participants list, and you can click the more button that will be like right on the side, or it'll be like a corner, like, or a dot. Depending on the computer you're on, it could look differently. And then when you click on that, it'll say like rename, and you will click that. So there's also another aspect that you can do, or here, hold on, that's not what I want to do. Yolanda, okay, I will update your email because that's not the email that I have. Okay. So the rename, you can do it on the participants list, but you can also do it on if you go to the corner of your screen. So let's say you're on Zoom right here, right? Like you're looking on your screen right now. You're going to go to the top right corner of your picture, like of your little square. And then you're going to click the dot that pops up right there. And then you're going to select that, and there will be another option for you to be able to rename yourself there as well. So again, with the whole aspect that there is different ways to get to different things, that will show you a few different things. Like you can rename your video from there, you can stop your video, you can mute your audio from there, et cetera, et cetera. So just know that going to the corner of the top right corner of your specific video, as well as going to the participant screen, is the like two places where you can kind of find out anything like little, you can always check there. So that's how you look at it on the computer. And then with it on your phone, you're also going to go to the participants list, and then you're going to press this little arrow, and then it will give you the option to 1, raise your hand, or 2, rename yourself. You'll type in your new screen name, and then it will change your name. So if you guys want to try it really quick. Oh, I love it. I see someone change their name to I Am a Rock Star, and that's super cute. I love that. So someone's got it down. If you guys want to at least check out the little functions and let me know if you guys found it. If you found it and you don't want to rename yourself because you love your name, just go ahead and put in the chat, found it or whatever. Or figured it out so that I know you guys are on the same page with me right now. Anybody else find it? Cool. All right, got one other. All right, is everyone else good with it? Does everybody else know? I just want to make sure I'm not losing anybody. Got it, cool. All righty. So that's how you will rename yourself. That is the key thing that you always want to check. You always want to make sure that your name's right on there, as well as sometimes what realtors do when they're on Zoom calls, especially, you know, I don't know the types of Zoom calls that you guys go on to on a daily basis, but like, for instance, when I do the market update Mondays or the Thursdays top tips, we're on Zoom and then we stream live to Facebook and from that Zoom. So like sometimes they'll add their phone number in there, or sometimes they'll add like their brokerage name or whatever it might be, so that people know like where they're from. Just be aware that you can, it will only show so much on your name, like, or else it might do like a ... So you don't want it to be so long that it can't, it won't show it all. How do you make sure your name shows in the chat? So your name will show up in the chat if you have it named as yourself. So I don't know what you mean. Like if you, for instance, Janice, you just wrote, found it. How do you make sure your name shows up in the chat? Right above that, it says Janice Conley to everyone, because that's what you've named yourself. So I don't know if you see that, and it says 11:27 a.m. Do you see that? And then like you can see like Stephanie Silas to everyone, like got. Janice, are you on your phone or are you on the computer? That's very interesting. So you don't see that it says your name above your message, or like, oh, okay, well, yes, it's gonna say, okay, so yeah, when you type it, it's gonna say it's from you, but you see how like Yolanda Sherry, right? You see how it says from Yolanda Sherry to everyone says found it, right? You see like the other people, how they're messaging? Yeah, so that's how it looks when you message too. So it's going to show you from you on your end, but it shows to us, it says Janice Conley. So yeah, oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, that's can be a little bit confusing. So you're very welcome. All right. So moving on to the screen modes that I mentioned earlier. The screen modes, there's 3 different screen modes, and I know that people can get a little bit confused with these. There are full screen mode, fill screen mode, and minimized. And sometimes people can kind of get lost, especially when they're doing their share screen app specs. But there's when you are on the computer, is when you're going to have this aspect. You're not going to have this feature on the phone. So when you're at the top right corner, you're going to see where it says exit full screen. So this right now is in full screen. And when you enter full screen, it will say press escape or double click. Holly, did you have a question? I just see that you unmuted. Okay, I'm just gonna mute you. All right. So when you're in that full screen mode, you'll see that press escape or double click to exit full screen mode. So you're in that full screen mode and things are going to be big, and that's when your chat and your participants list is going to show up separately. So that's what it looks like there. Again, my beautiful face being silly. This is where I was actually looking. Now, this is when you are in that fill screen mode. So it's filling your screen, but it will show you this little box in the corner, and it will say like the little, that's how you enter the full, if you hover over it, it'll say enter full screen mode. And that's how you'll enter full screen mode, and that's how you can exit full screen mode when it says exit full screen mode, like over here, minimizing it. So that's when your participant list is going to show up on the side. That's when your chat box is going to show up on the side, and you're going to be able to minimize it even further or move it around, et cetera, et cetera. You're going to have a little bit more versatility with the fill screen mode. Then there is the minimized view, which is when you minimize that screen to be even smaller, and you're only going to see the yourself or like a few people if you expand it. So how you exit that is you would click on this right corner over here and click exit minimized video. So I think a lot of times people get stuck into this minimized view because they're trying to maybe multitask or something, and they're not quite sure how to get out of it and like make it regular again. And that's the aspect that you do right there. That's how you turn off your video and your microphone. So that is the minimized view. And if you are sharing your screen, you cannot be in minimized view and sharing your screen. So it won't even let you do that. So if you're trying to get to that. So those are the 3 different types of screen modes, and like understanding when you're in those screen modes is really important so that you know how to get out of them or how to change them, because you might need them for different aspects, just depending on how you are navigating. So keep that in mind. Are there any questions about the screen modes before I go into the screen views? So there are 2 different types of screen view aspects that you can look at. And I think a lot of people get confused with this too, because when you see it where there is, and it looks a little bit differently when you have someone sharing a screen, right? But when someone isn't sharing a screen and you are just on the Zoom call and everything, and you see the speaker view, and then you have gallery view. And how that speaker view looks like is you have that speaker that's right here, and that's the biggest one. And then you have all of the other participants up here. Like, and you could usually, if there's more than a few or whatever, you can scroll through them at the top right here. There will be like a little arrow, and you can scroll through all the people on there. So that is the speaker view. So whoever is speaking, so right here it's showing Michelle speaking, right? If I were to start speaking on this, again, a beautiful face over here, then it would throw me into the speaker view. So that's a great way, like if you're in a Zoom call and there's multiple people that are talking and everything like that, and you want to just kind of have it where it's showing you who's ever speaking, then that's a great view to do it in. The only thing is like, depending on who's host or who's the moderator or whatever it might be, the host of the meeting, if someone's mic is unmuted and like, let's say there's feedback, like there's been a couple of people that have had their feedback or whatever, it might show you the people who are giving like that there's like noise happening around them or whatever it might be. And it will like pop them into speaker view or whatever. So sometimes that's a little bit weird, but the host can actually change that. They can actually make it like a highlighted screen so that you know who you're supposed to be focusing on, but that's on the host side of things. So that's where it kind of gets just depends on the host and how they're hosting it. But that is the speaker view if you wanted to just see who was speaking, if multiple people are speaking. And then there is the gallery view, which is where you're going to see everybody in this gallery. And then if there's a lot of people, if there's more than 25 people, you'll have 2 screens, and you will like click the corner. There will be like a little arrow over here, and you'll click that arrow button to get to the other screen to see the majority, like more people, if there's more than 25 people in the Zoom call. So that's how you can kind of like navigate to see more people when you guys are looking on these Zoom calls and everything, if there's someone you're looking for or whatever it might be. It's also a good way to just tell, like, you know, everybody's facial reactions and everything like that. So that's good. So those are the 2 different types of views that you're going to get. There is screen views when you're on your phone. So when you're on your phone, there's 3 different modes. There's driving mode, there's speaker mode, and then there's gallery mode. So you'll only be able to see a maximum of 4 people on the gallery mode at once. So you're gonna have to click that, or you won't click on the side, you'll have to swipe. So if you swipe to the left, it will show you all of the different participants. So as many as 4 on each screen holds. And then as you're swiping to the right, so swiping this way, you are going to, you'll get into a speaker mode. And then that speaker mode is just like the speaker mode I was just talking about, where it'll just show you who's speaking. So that's good to just focus on who's trying to speak. And then if you swipe again to the right, you'll see the driving mode. And what driving mode does is, let's say when you're on speaker mode or you're on gallery mode, and like you have your camera showing and you've got your microphone unmuted, like let's say you're talking like normal, right? And then let's say you switch to driving mode, your microphone will automatically mute and your video will stop. So it'll show you up here, like this is safe driving mode. And then what you can do is you can tap to speak, and you can click on the tap, and then you can like just talk for 2 seconds or whatever it is, if you want to chime into whatever anyone's saying, and then you can let go, and you could just, and you can tap it again to stop speaking. So that's the driving mode that will automatically mute you and put your video off so that you are driving safely, hopefully, with Zoom. I do not encourage zooming and driving, but I know that we're all very, very busy, and sometimes we're just trying to be in 12 places at once, like we've always been doing here in real estate, right? So those are the 3 different modes on the phone. Are there any questions about that? Okay. All righty. So moving on to raising your hand. So raising your hand is, so raising your hand is a big one as well when you're in these rooms. Yes, I am, Yolanda. I'm getting to that. That's coming up in literally next after raising your hand. So raising your hand is a feature that some people haven't been able to find. This is one of those features where you can find it in multiple places on the Zoom. So you can raise your hand by going to the participants list and going to the ... raising your hand. There will also sometimes be an option right here next to your name, as well as you can go to the ... in the corner of your screen, like we mentioned earlier. So there's a few different, and then there's sometimes an option also at the bottom of your screen. Like if you, right now we're in like the share screen mode, but if at the bottom of your screen where you're navigating it, at the bottom, there is usually also an option to be able, like a ... or something where you can click raise your hand and raise your hand from there as well. So it's one of those features where you can find it in multiple areas, the key places being in the corner of your screen, on the participants list, or in that bar at the bottom. When you're on the phone, you're gonna go to your participants list, and then you're gonna click on the arrow on the corner. And then that will give you, again, remember we talked about earlier, when you're renaming yourself, it'll also give you the option to raise your hand. And then when you do that, it will even show you, and this will show for anybody, whether you're on the phone or you're on the computer. If someone's raising their hand, like let's say I was like asking a question, like let's say I was like, oh, you know, if any, do any of you guys have questions or anything like that? And someone wanted to raise their hand to like, let them know, or let's say I'm speaking right now and you guys are using the raise hand function because you wanted to say something, I would notice it and be like, okay, you know, Claudia has a question. So, and then I can acknowledge you. So yep, Jennifer just raised her hand and then she just lowered her hand. So I just saw that for 2 seconds. And it also brings you to the top of the participants list. So it will show you that little hand button. So if a couple of you guys want to kind of just play around, make sure you find that raise hand button if everyone kind of wants to raise their hand right now. It also shows it at the corner of the page that I can see. Cool. Janice and Jennifer have raised their hands. Anybody else find the raise hand button feature? And then you can lower it in that same spot that you found it. And I can even like, let's say I called on Stephanie, I see Paula, they raise their hands. I can even say, okay, Stephanie, I've answered your question, and I can lower your hand as the host. But you can also lower it yourself, like once your question has been answered. So cool. All right, Paula's got her hand raised, I lowered that. All right. Anybody have any questions about the raise hand feature? I know there was a few people who didn't do it. Was everyone able to find it? Were you guys at least able to find it? Yes. Okay. Cool. Seema couldn't find it. Seema, are you on your phone or your computer? So go to the top. Go to the participants list.
Okay, I'm there. Yeah, in the participants.
And then go to your name.
Okay. Oh, and more.
Yeah, and more. You see it there?
It says add profile picture and rename.
Okay, so at the bottom of your participants list, it depends on which screen mode you're in. Does it have like a ... at the bottom next to the invite me or the mute me or whatever?
No.
So are you in full screen mode or fill screen mode?
Well, I'm not in full screen, but I don't see the raise hand anywhere.
Is there a hand next to your name at all or no?
No, there's just mute and more. And when I do the more, it says add profile and rename.
Okay. Stephanie is saying that hers was hidden underneath reactions.
Okay.
You can also, that is one other spot to go to it. But let's say you go, let's go back to the Zoom.
Yeah,
where you
let's see. Yes, it's in reaction. So I'm raising hand now. So I got it.
Cool.
So it
also,
was under reactions.
Another area that you should be able to see it in is if you go to the top right corner of your Zoom, like let's say your little block of the screen where it says your name, Seema, right?
Okay.
You see the ... next to your name?
Okay, where are you saying I should go? Because
like, you know, where you, like, let's say, you know, where your video would show up if you were showing your video.
Yeah, okay.
You see where it says Seema and your first and last name, that little box?
Yeah. Yes.
So click on the ... in the top right corner. It'll if you hover over it, it'll pop up.
Right, it says lower hand there.
Yeah, so if you can lower your hand there, or you can even raise your hand from there too.
Oh, okay, I did lower just now.
And then try and do it again, and you can raise it from there too.
It's funny because it just says mute my audio, start, hide self view, add profile, rename. So it looks like I have to raise the hand from reactions, and that's what it's coming up on the computer. And only lower hand option is when I go on my name and I go to the dots. It's just lower hand
weird.
is there. It's really strange, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's a little bit weird.
It doesn't have raising hand on this, but at least I found it in reactions. So
yeah, so there's the reactions, and then they have like the claps and the hearts and stuff like that, and the reactions too.
Right.
All right, cool. Glad you found it then, Seema. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. Now, virtual backgrounds. Everybody loves virtual backgrounds, and I have skillfully put this behind me, so I don't need a virtual background anymore. But these are super fun, and I use a lot of them when I'm not in this office or I'm in my home office or whatever it might be. But this is a great feature that they've added. But there are some different things to be aware of with the virtual backgrounds. Now, it is not compatible with every computer. I think that Zoom is trying to work on this right now, but there are some computers that just don't have the capabilities of letting you do it. I'm going to show you what it looks like when your computer is not capable. Zoom will also let you know, like if it's not capable, it'll be like your computer is not capable. Like it'll notify you when you try to do it. You can use the ones that are provided to you, which are like kind of those space ones or whatever it might be, that it was like the funny space ones, or like the San Francisco one or whatever. And then this is like a custom one that I made. You can use those, or you can upload your own, which you can make on Canva. If you guys don't know Canva already, oh my gosh, you need to know Canva. Like Canva is something I use like so many times a day. It's not even funny. It's literally not even funny how many times a day I use it. But when you go to Canva, you can literally, yes, Stephanie, it is the best. You can literally type in virtual Zoom background. It'll bring it up already with the pixels, but it's 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels. And they even have like preset ones that you can do. You can throw your logo into it, which I highly suggest throwing your logo into it. You can put, your face on, or you put your name, your phone number. You can put your brokerage, your logo, like if you have a branded logo or whatever it might be, your broker logo. Brand it up, you can make it up. And if you need any help, I can literally make them in 0.2 seconds. If you need help, just send me an email and I will help you put one together really quick. You can upload a business card, Yolanda, if it's the right pixels. Like you could upload your picture of your business card to Canva and then to make it the proper size, and then you can download that. But they're not going to be able to see, like if you have to think about which picture you're choosing, because if you choose a picture, like let's say you upload a business card and then you're literally in front of all the information, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really make sense for you to be sitting in front of your information and then like you blocking half of that information. So what I recommend doing is making a virtual background that's like a business card where it has your information on it. And you don't need it to be like your address and all of that. Like you don't need it to be that complicated. Like put your logo, put your phone number, put your email address or whatever, and make it like very simple. And also eye-catching. So if you have like a logo, a business logo, or like a team logo or something that you use that, and you can make it look really good. So getting to the virtual backgrounds and how you utilize it. Now, I wrote on here, and I should have taken this off. I thought I had taken off the aspects. It is available on your phones now. It didn't used to be, so that was an update that they had done. So you go to the bottom of your screen here. And if you're on the computer, you're going to click the stop video. You're not going to click on the stop video. That's going to stop your video or turn on your video. But if you go to this corner area and then you go to the little arrow that's in the corner right there, you're going to click or hover over it, click it, and then it will bring up the different settings here. So you're going to click choose virtual background. And then when you click on choose that virtual background, it will bring up these settings. Oops, hold on. So it'll bring up these settings, and you can actually click on and get to any of these settings. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But the virtual background, it'll bring you straight to this in your settings for your Zoom. And then you'll be able to click here and click choose virtual background. Now there should be already ones uploaded into there if you've allowed them, or you can you might have to accept something that says like, hey, like, do you want us to have your own backgrounds, whatever. Then you need to click on the corner right here, this little plus sign in the top right corner of these choose virtual backgrounds. It's going to say add image or video. You can also do video. You don't have to do just images, but just, be careful if it's like one of your own videos or whatever it might be, like, just be cognizant because it might be too distracting. I think the video, personally, I think the videos are a little distracting. But the add image and everything, that's where you can put in your logo and such like that. Then click on that and it will just ask you to upload a file. So just straight from your computer. So when you download that virtual background, make sure you download it to a place that you know that is on your computer. And then you can just search for it in your documents and click on it and upload it. Now you need to make sure that I know that most people probably don't have a green screen. So make sure that this is not clicked. If this is clicked, sorry, if you have this clicked, this is what your face will look like when you put the virtual background. I know it's super cute. Again, me and my faces, man. I'm part of the galaxy here. But that is what it will look like. Like it says right here, a solid color video background is required. Green color is preferred. So I have literally seen people get so crafty with this. They have like put green pieces of paper up on their wall and like made a green wall or a green background for them so that they can utilize a virtual background, because a lot of people that have like the capabilities, like if your computer is too old, it might only work if you have a green screen. So that's why some people have utilized that, because it'll also show you like this if you don't have that green screen button clicked and you try and upload a photo and your computer is not compatible, then your face will show up like that too. So that's how you know that your computer isn't like in the right aspects to be able to use it, which sucks for some people. So if you guys want to test that out, you guys can. Again, with the virtual backgrounds, if you guys ever need any help with making the virtual backgrounds, it literally takes me 2 seconds to make them. Like I have no problem like helping you guys put those together and creating those virtual backgrounds for you guys, or helping you at least come up with a good idea or how to like kind of structure it properly so that you have it. So with your branding is key. So are there any questions on how you get to that virtual background? Did everybody click on it and get to it? Again, you're going to go to the bottom left corner of your screen. You're going to click the arrow up button. You're going to click choose virtual background, and then it's going to bring you to here where you're able to upload an image or just use one. You can test out and try and use one of their virtual backgrounds. And it should show you, like, if you, like, for instance, a lot of you guys don't have your picture up or your video up, but like, let's say it should show you your preview before you're even up there. So if that makes sense. Are there any questions about the virtual background? Trying to see, is anybody testing it out right now? All right, I see Jennifer Cooley did something there. All right, is anyone else testing it out? Not supported there? Okay. Oh, Stephanie doesn't have a camera. Okay. Jennifer Cooley, you're upside down. How'd you do that?
I have no idea. Even my logo's like mirrored. I don't know what I did.
Okay. All right, 1 second. Let me go to. So, can you see this? If I bring this up on the screen, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see my settings now, right? Where my mouth moving?
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right, so you'll see the video. So here's background and filters. Then you see the video settings at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have your camera here and make sure you can like mirror your video. So now it look like completely different, right? So you see that?
Okay.
And make sure that I don't know how it threw you upside down, honestly, but maybe, do you have a webcam or is that on your computer?
On my computer.
The camera's on your computer?
Yes, that's correct.
Maybe make sure that, see if you have multiple camera options here. There's also for the people who care, like you can touch up your appearance on here too. Make yourself touched up if you like that. You can also adjust for low light or whatever it might be, which kind of helps your lighting a little bit. So there's like so much you can do in these settings. You can also like make it so it turns off your video when you're joining meetings automatically. This is where, so if you're having issues with your video, Jennifer, I might recommend like troubleshooting it and seeing like kind of what happens there. Because it shouldn't give you an, I don't see where it would do that with your video. It might be a setting on your actual camera, like on your actual computer. So that might be something to look into as well.
Thank you. I'll look into it. It looks like it just occurred once I put my background on. Oh, nope.
Yeah, you're still upside down, which is very interesting. I mean, you'll get people's attention that way. Oh, that's funny. Oh, also, if you're mirroring, well, why don't you, if you look down here, like you see the virtual backgrounds, here's the mirror video option too. Is it Studio Effects? Maybe it's under. Oh, wow. This is new. Studio Effects. I can add eyebrows to me? Oh, no way, guys. This is crazy. This is in beta testing mode, this Zoom aspect where I can add eyebrows onto me. Oh my God, I'm dying. That's hilarious. Yes, Jerry gave a great point. For those of us who wear glasses, it's important to have a light source in front and above your head. Just making sure you have good lighting, getting those ring lights or whatever it might be are so, oh my God, there's so many people that I see that like, that have no lighting or whatever it might be, and it's so hard to see people. So you definitely want to make sure that your settings are good like this. Guys, I'm really laughing about this mustache and beard. This is really funny. I can add a mustache and beard to me. That's so funny. I don't see the virtual screen. You mean you don't see the virtual screen, like backgrounds that they give you? Paula? Like the virtual, what do you mean the virtual screen? The virtual background option? Paula, do you want to unmute yourself and maybe ask? Paula, I see your hand is raised, but I don't see you writing anything. Can you unmute yourself and ask me the question? I want to make sure you're taken care of.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to find my way back.
That's all right.
Did you say to press the camera?
Yes.
Not the video, the where I'm trying to find.
So down here, if you look at
Sorry, I don't see you. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me get back. Oops. Trying to get back to you. There you are. Okay.
So you see the stop video button on your Zoom?
Stop video. No.
And the bottom left corner.
Bottom left. I see mute. I see start video.
Yeah, stop video. So you see the little corner. There's a little arrow moving up. You see that?
Next to the camera.
Look at my screen. You see the stop video, and you see the little corner button. That's a little arrow up.
Not really.
Okay, you see the stop video, right?
No, I see start video.
Okay. Oh, sorry. This is start video. Same little portion. Same.
Okay, okay. All
Because
right.
if that, so when you stop your, I forgot that you guys are not all in video right now, but like if you stop this, it might say start video as well. So is there an arrow up on that button right there? It's the same button.
So click it. All right. Okay, I see share. Is that what you mean? No.
No. So stop or share video. There's a little button in the corner. See, now you're sharing your video. Don't click on that button. Click on the top right corner of that button where there's an arrow up. Oh, you're on your phone, aren't you, Paula? Paula, you muted yourself. Paula, can you unmute yourself? If you look at the bottom left corner, click mute, the mute button. Virtual, just so that you know, Paula, virtual backgrounds on the phone are, I thought you were on your computer. Virtual backgrounds on your phone are going to be different. You should be able to find them in the More tab in the corner. So if you go to the More on your phone, then there should be an option for your virtual background. There you go, Janice, I see you. Is that a virtual background? Is that you?
I'm gonna record.
Okay.
There you go.
Huh?
You're gonna sit out. You're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
sit out for a bit.
Not right. Before you go back.
Okay.
What's up? This
Oh.
All right, I see someone else is speaking right now. Who else is speaking?
so nice warm day out there.
Yeah.
Oh, Paula, you're unmuted now. Paula?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you find the virtual background option?
Yeah. I don't see it. I'll play with it later. It's okay. I don't want to hold up the class.
Did you hear what I said about the More button? You see the dot,
Yeah.
dot, dot.
Uh-huh.
Did you click on that?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you see virtual background there?
I see chat. I see full view transcripts. I see meeting setting. I see disconnect audio and lower hand.
Click
which I'll
meeting
do.
settings.
Meeting setting. Okay.
And what does it show you there? Does
Meeting topic, show name, show, what's that? Something about video, non-video participants, and show my video in gallery.
That's weird. It might be, what type of phone do you have? Because I didn't realize you were on the phone. I thought you were.
Yeah, it's an Android. It's an Android.
Okay. Well, if you want to stay on afterwards, I can work you through it so that we can get through the class. But
All right.
yeah, I'm happy to help you. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. All righty. We're moving on, guys. Anybody else have any questions about the virtual backgrounds? Cool. All right. You have that same issue, Jerry? Is that what you were saying? Or just the fact that Android user? I'm an Android user too. All right, so using the chat boxes, we talked a little bit about them earlier, just like getting to the chat at the bottom is how you get to it from the computer and everything. And there's some features in the chat box that a lot of people don't know about. So there is the aspect, well, one that most of you guys probably know about is the private chat that you can do with people. So when you are private chatting, you can go to the bottom here and you can click on this little drop down. So it'll either say everyone, or you can click on the drop down box and click a specific person in that chat to be able to privately message them. It'll say right next to them privately so that you know that it's a private message, as you can see here. It says from me to Michelle privately, that I said, hi, Michelle, so that you can talk privately with one another. Now, if you're getting multiple messages from people privately, just be aware that make sure that you're messaging the right person back that you're trying to message privately. if you're getting multiple messages. So that is how you utilize the private messagely aspect. You can also do that on the phone too. When you go to the participants and everything, you can message them privately there. Now on the computer, I'm not sure that this is also in the phone aspect, because the phone, they keep updating the phones to try and get them more features that the computers also offer. But on the computer, it's the easiest because it has a easier way to share it. So the file button, there's a file button and then there's like a more button. The file button, when you click on the file button, you're able to upload a file to the actual Zoom. So for instance, I can go ahead and when I click on that, I can go to my computer. I can get, like, it gives me the options of Dropbox and Microsoft OneDrive and all the different aspects that I have on my computer. And for instance, if I want to share something with you guys, I can go ahead and share a picture with you guys. So for instance, I just dropped, oh, well, I just sent that to Yolanda, hold on. So for instance, I just dropped a picture into the comments right now because I uploaded that file there. Now you guys can click on that and click it to open it. And it's a picture of our office dog, Max, with his little arrow shirt and everything on it. If you guys end up seeing that and him looking back at everything. So he's our K9 customer relations. He's a cutie. But that's how you could share a file or a picture or something like that with someone, or if there's like a document that you want to share with the group that you're on Zoom with, that's a great aspect to utilize. As well as you can click the ... option right there that you see here, and then you can save the chat. So you can save the, like, for instance, I had a few people earlier who gave me their email addresses. I just pulled it right from the chat and put it into my thing. But let's say I didn't have a Google, or I didn't have a roster already up or whatever. I could go ahead and after this meeting, I can save the entire chat, and then I could go back and read what every person wrote me. I can even do the private messages that were for me, not for other people. Like if you guys are doing private messages back and forth, I won't be able to see those. But that's a great aspect as well. If there's a bunch of valuable information being thrown into the chat or whatever it might be that you want to utilize. So keep that in mind as well whenever you are in a Zoom meeting and you want to save that. So I am not able to see who downloaded the document, no. So if you guys just downloaded this, click the open, no, I wouldn't be able to see who actually opened it and who didn't. Nancy, can I redo what? Can I, how you upload the file?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
So you click on the button that's file right here when you go to the chat box. So that's a feature in the chat box.
Okay.
So you go to the chat box and then you'll see the file. You click on file and then it will ask you to look through your computer to click a file that you want to share with people.
Okay.
So then once you click whatever file it is you want to share, then you click on it, share it, and it will make it available to anybody in the chat. Or you can send things directly if you needed to.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, another thing, this is like a huge thing that people really don't realize when it comes to links in the chat. So a lot of people will be like, yeah, go ahead and check out this website. This is where you can get to the fundraiser or whatever it is that you guys are talking about. And then they'll put in a link, but they won't put in the full link. So it doesn't show them an actual link like here. It will show them just as words. So obviously you want a clickable link, right? So I've been talking about our YouTube channel and everything like that. So I just put into the chat our YouTube channel, and you see how that comes up as a link. So you can actually click on that and it will bring you to our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see our YouTube channel or go directly to wherever someone's putting a link to. So if you guys are trying to share links with people, make sure that you guys are doing that with the actual HTTPS semicolon / like just like the full blown link, or else it will show up just as words and not a hyperlink. So that's a quick little tip about that, which is really important if you want to direct people to a specific area. Or if for some reason, like let's say you're doing a meeting with a client and you want to direct them to your web page or whatever it might be, or something that you're sharing or a website you're looking at, you can give them the direct link and then have them go click through it through your Zoom, and you can share information that way. So hopefully that's helpful. So the same thing applies for the chat box on the phone. So you click on the chat box, which you'll click on for more. Again, if you're on your phone, you're going to click the more tab, you're going to click chat. And then once you get to that chat box and everything, making sure that you're sending it to everyone, or you can send it privately. Again, if you want, you can click that drop down button, and same thing with the links and everything like that. But you won't have the ability to upload files and everything like that. So that is not a function on the phone unless they've updated it like recently. So that's how you navigate those chat boxes and everything. So with the mute and unmute, this is really important, you guys. I know that there's been a few people that have kind of like accidentally unmuted themselves or whatever it might be, but those mute settings or those audio settings you can go to if you're ever having issues with your microphone. Guys, I've had so many people who come on and they're like not quite sure what's going on with their microphone or whatever it might be. There are ways to do like little troubleshooting, and sometimes if you're on your computer, there might be multiple aspects that people are pulling from, or not, sorry, that's worded wrong. There might be multiple microphones that your computer can pull from, if that makes sense. So for instance, I have my webcam that's up here. I have a speaker in my webcam. I have a speaker on my computer. And so it can pull from either one of those. And sometimes if they're not like talking properly, it can be an issue. So sometimes you have to reset it. So the mute button at the corner here, if you're ever having issues with like, if it's not /through, the red slash, or it doesn't say unmute or whatever it might be, and it looks like your audio is on, and you're talking and nobody says it can hear you, you can go to the corner, again, just like we did with the stop with the video button and everything. You can click that top right corner, and then you can go into audio settings. And you can even see right here, like it shows you like, this is my microphone or whatever, or you can use same as system. It'll say select a microphone, select a speaker. And then it even asks you right here, like in this little drop up button, it'll say test microphone and speaker. So you can test it where it's like, it'll ask you to like speak into it. It'll say like, say, 2 words or whatever. And you say like 2 words, and then it'll play it back to you. It'll be like, can you hear this? And you say yes or no. So it'll go through a quick little troubleshooting with you to make sure that your audio is working. So if you guys ever have issues with your audio or whatever it might be, go to your audio settings, do the quick little testing of your speaker and microphone, and make sure it is working properly. When you go into the audio system, you'll also see here, or when you go into the audio settings right there, you'll see the, you can test the speaker individually, or you can test the mic individually. You can click the drop down button. You can adjust your volume for each of these things. And you can see the output levels and the input levels and everything. And then you can even automatically join audio by computer when joining a meeting. Like these are settings that you can do for everything. Another, if you have like a headset or something like that, you can sync buttons on your headset. And you can even mute your microphone when joining a meeting automatically if you want. And one of the cool things that a lot of people don't know is that there's actually, if you add this aspect for your Zoom, So press and hold space key to temporarily unmute yourself. So when you're mute, you can go ahead and tap the space bar, and then the space bar will unmute you for as long as you hold down that space bar. And then once you release it, it will mute you again. So if you're only going to chime in every now and then or whatever, instead of like going and finding the unmute button or whatever it might be, you can just hold down your space bar and then unmute. So if that makes sense for people. So for instance, if I'm oh, and I can't even do it because I'm sharing my screen right now. So it's automatically going to my screen settings over here. But if I were just in the regular meeting or whatever, I could utilize that, that holding the space bar and get it figured out like that. So does everybody see that option in their audio settings that is looking for it and everything? If I'm moving too fast or anything like that, please just let me know. Or if you have any questions, do not be afraid to ask. I am here to help. All right, I see someone put a thumbs up. Thanks, Jennifer. All right, you see it, cool, great. So that's just a cool little feature to keep in mind. All right, now sharing your screen. This is a big one for people too. And don't worry, we're almost done, guys. So the sharing your screen aspect is a huge one for people. This is when you're sharing your screen, one, it's always shown at the bottom of your screen. It's always going to be the share screen with a green. It's literally in green. It's the only thing that's in green. That's if you're on your phone or your computer. It's always in the bottom, in the middle. Share screen. You click share screen. If you are on two different computers, or sorry, not two different computers. If you're on if you have two different screens, it will show you screen one and then screen two will pop up right here. Now there's a few different, you can even share an iPhone or an iPad. If you have that, you can connect it remotely to Zoom, which is kind of cool. As well as you can go ahead and share different screens that you have up. So for instance, let's say you have a specific browser that you want to share with someone, but you don't want to share your entire screen. You can share that specific browser with them, and you would just click it wherever it is here, like whether it's Adobe Premiere Rush or screenshots or whatever it might be. So you click on whatever is in blue is what you're sharing. So if you just want to click and share your entire screen, which will automatically share your entire screen, this will be blue. And then when you click on that, you click share screen, you make sure that this is highlighted, your screen or whatever pieces of your screen that you want to share. And then you have to click share again in this bottom corner right here. You click share again, and then it will start sharing. This is like a really big thing for people. They don't click that second share button again and they think it's already sharing, and it's not. So I see people struggle with that quite a bit. So is there any questions about sharing the screen? You have to click this button, select the screen that you want to share, and then click share again, and then it will share your screen. And then what it will do is it will throw at the top of the screen. I'll show you what it looks like. You guys can see this now, right? So at the top of the screen, it will say you are sharing. You can stop the share right here. So, oh, share an image. So see, like, let's say what you want to do is if you're sharing an image, you want to pull that up before you click the share screen button, pull up that image on your computer first, and then it will bring it up here. So like, let's say you are like, once you pull that, like these are all my open tabs when I took this screenshot, or open things that are on my computer. Like this is a video editor or whatever. If you open up that image on your computer in whatever document file that it is, it will pop up here, and then you'll go to share your screen.
But if you're sharing like an image, let's say it's on your desktop, so you would just go to the desktop and upload it or something? I'm not quite sure. So it automatically appears here. Whatever's on your desktop would appear here.
Not on your desktop, but like, let's say you have, like you want to open the file. So whether something's on your desktop, like if it's a file on your desktop, like it's just an icon, you have to click on that icon, open it up in whatever software it's in, and it's going to open it as a window, right, on your computer.
Right.
So once it's opened as a window on your computer, then you can minimize it or whatever, bring up your Zoom and click share screen. And then it will bring it up as an option if you've recently opened it up right here on your screen. And then you click OK, click that window. You'll be able to see the picture. Click on the picture, make sure it's highlighted in blue, and then click share, and it will share that picture. Same thing goes with PDF files and everything.
So it's everything recent, everything that's, or just the part I'm not following is that if it's in your documents or downloads, how does it all automatically appear here?
Because these are open windows.
Oh,
So for instance, like if you have, like let's say you have multiple browsers open, right?
okay, got it. Okay.
You know, you have multiple browsers open, you've got your email open, if it's on Outlook, you've got Excel spread, whatever you've got open on your computer is going to show up on right here.
Okay, got it. Okay, so it's, oh, so I get it. So it's whatever's open shows up here, but if you want to upload an image that is sitting on your desktop and you want it to appear here, what you're saying is you cannot do it from your desktop, but you got to maybe put it in a folder and then open that folder. I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Well, your desktop actually has its own folder on your computer.
Right, right.
So you don't have to put it into another special folder, but you can click on that like you can click on the desktop folder and find what you're trying to share, or you can just go to your desktop and open it up.
Right, but open it up, but how do you bring it here?
Okay, for instance. Oh, why do I have nothing on my?
Because you may not want to share what's necessarily opened in a browser.
Okay, you guys can see this? Can you see my screen? Where it's like documents and everything like that?
Yes.
So if you click on your desktop,
right,
you can see like what's on your desktop and it will show you right here that they're
right.
shortcuts. So then you can open it up that way, but you have to open it up. Like for instance, if I moved this to my desktop, right? So this isn't now an image on my desktop, right?
Correct, yes.
Now I can click this and I have to open it.
Right.
So now I've opened it and now it's opened underneath photos. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So now I clicked on this, opened it up in my photos. Now it's open, it's an open document in my photos. So when I go to click share screen, this photos option is going to come up.
Okay.
So for instance, if I stop sharing my screen there and I go to share, I can literally share just this picture. You guys see that now?
Yes. Okay, so you just have to open it and then it'll automatically appear in that.
Correct.
Share screen, it'll come up once you open it.
Yes, correct. It'll show up as an option. So now I'm sharing just my screen too. And you can see everything. So you see that difference, how you can see my full screen behind it and this, whereas before I was just sharing the photo.
Right, right.
Yeah, so you just have to open it up. So if it's on your desktop, just double click it, open it up, and then share just that. Then you'll go to Zoom, open up your share screen option and share this photo thing because it opens up.
So basically it has to be ready in order to be shared instantly at that time. I mean, you got to have it open and ready.
Correct.
Okay. And the same would be for a video?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let me go back to. There we go. All right. So that's how you share a screen. And also one thing. because Jerry was asking about a PDF file. So you can do the same thing with a PDF file, Jerry. You just have to open it up. But you can even, if you go to the, there's another way that you can do it too. And actually here you can go, here you can see it here. I'm gonna show you guys. So you can actually see it on the, hold on, you guys can see the right screen, right? Screen 2. All right. So you guys see this right here, the share screen. So you see this files, you can click on files too. This kind of gets a little bit more advanced, but you can click on these files and you can share like videos and stuff. If you are sharing a video that has sound, you see at the bottom here where it says share computer sound or optimize screen sharing for video clip, you can select those if you are trying to do those options, and it will make it more compatible to be able to utilize with your Zoom. Because if you don't share your computer sound and you're trying to share a video, it won't share the sound, if that makes sense. Does that answer your question, Jerry? Okay. Does anybody else have any questions about the sharing screen option? Okay, cool.
So one question, you can share the screen, like you said, right now we are on the user end and like you're on the host end, right?
Yeah.
So I just tried to hit share screen, but it says you cannot share because somebody else is sharing, right?
Yes, because
So
I'm sharing. So if you want to try and test it, go ahead and try it now.
okay, so yep, got it. Okay, so that's the, so it's like, it's not just the host can share screens, the user can also share screens if there's something to bring up in the conversation.
Correct, as long as the host is given that ability, which a lot of times hosts don't know that they've limited that capability, but it's easy for them to fix and everything. So hopefully, if depending on what type of Zoom call you're on or whatever it might be,
right,
they just have to allow you the ability to be able to do that. And as long as they allow participants to share, then yes, you can also share something and be like, add something that's relevant to it. Yes.
Okay, got it. And regarding like, let's say I want to, I know this would probably be better on the hosting end, but let's say I wanted to upload the listing agreement and I'm sharing it with a customer. Maybe that's more as a host, but even if you're a user, and let's say I'm discussing with another agent and we're just practicing the listing agreement. Okay, and she says, I can't find it. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to share from I'll have it. And so when it's the same thing, because I know you just talked about a PDF.
Mm-hmm.
So you hit share screen, and how do you get that? Do you take it from your downloads and open it? And I mean, how do you?
Yes. So again, opening up whenever you have something in your downloads or your desktop or anything, everything that you open up on your computer, you've downloaded your computer, is in a file somewhere. And when you open it, it opens up in some type of application. So for instance, I downloaded that photo to my desktop. When I click on that photo, it opens up in the application of photos.
Right.
Same thing with PDF. If I open that up, it'll either open up in like we have what's called it's called Foxit Phantom or whatever. Like that's our PDF opener or whatever it is. So that's what opens where our PDFs open up. If you, whatever software you have on your computer that opens it up, Adobe, whatever it is, when you open up that PDF and it's open up on your computer, just like you would look at it, that application will show up underneath the share screen.
Under the share screen. Okay.
As long as you've opened it up recently, like you have to open it up and be prepared with that before sharing it.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Of course. All right, now you just tried, okay, so I'm not sharing anymore. So let me go ahead and share. Okie dokie. Is there any other questions about the sharing of the screen and everything like that? I know it's a really big one because a lot of people want to share their screen and stuff. And I will note here that if you guys, again, we're having our next class, the intermediate version on May 28th. There's some really cool aspects you can do with sharing screen where you can, like, let's say you have a client on your, I'll just give you a little hint into it, but like you're going to learn more about it. And I don't want to take up too much more time because we've already done an hour and a half here. But you can learn, like, there are ways that you can control their screen and like literally like walk them through it. Like if they're not being able to find something on the listing aspect or whatever it might be. So on the 28th, sorry, did I say the 25th? It's the 28th at 11 a.m. It's a Friday, the 28th at 11 a.m. And the, that's also, you can register for that already. So, just a cool thing. So that's a thing that you can also look into. So really quickly, this is the last thing we're going to go over here. The other settings, we kind of like breezed over it into some of the other aspects like the audio and visual and video, but there's so much that you can do here. Like you can go to general, you can like click all of these different aspects. You can change your skin tone. You can, like, if you just read through these, like ask me to confirm when I'm leaving a meeting, remind me 10 minutes before any of my upcoming meetings, like all of these things that you can check off and like make a part of your settings. So these settings are available right in your Zoom window. You can edit them at any time. You can go to video, audio, sharing screen options, your chat, your virtual background, recording, profile. That's where you can change your profile picture and stuff like that. And just keyboard shortcuts and so much more. It gets very complicated, but like you can go through these and kind of read through them and see like maybe what you want to check up or what you want to kind of fix. So just don't be afraid to like go through those settings and kind of just see what would kind of work best for you when you want your general settings. So that was the last thing I wanted to mention. Are there any other questions that you guys have about Zoom? I hope that this was a good overview for you guys on Zoom. Thank you, Janice. And also don't leave yet because I do have a giveaway for everyone. I thank you guys so much for your attentiveness in this class. Yes, this video will be available on our YouTube channel. You guys have that link before. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube because we have so many great videos. We post all of our classes. We post our Thursdays, top tips in real estate, our market update Mondays, which if you guys want to be a part of those, you guys are welcome to be. It is free for you guys to be a part of it. We're just sharing knowledge about real estate and everything like that. We have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Follow us on all of it. We really try to make title insurance fun and exciting. And we also have all of our other classes on the on our YouTube channel, so you guys can check out social, like intermediate Canva classes, intro to Canva. Like we have all of these different classes that I've hosted to try and help you guys. And if you guys have any questions, I am here for you guys. I will put in the chat really quick my phone number so that you guys have that. That's my direct line. And then here's my email, which most of you have already anyways because of the email. And then you guys had our YouTube channel. The link to, I'll go ahead and put the link for the other Zoom class that's coming up. Here's the other Zoom class. And then really quick, I'm going to do a little giveaway for everyone who's on here. Thank you guys again for being so attentive. There's where you can register for the May 28th class. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give a giveaway away. It's gonna be a gift card for Starbucks, or actually you guys, whatever you want. If you want it to be Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, you let me know. We're gonna do a quick little thing. So just if you guys wanna put in the chat, we're gonna do a number from 1 to 75. Put in the chat your number and whoever's the closest wins. Thank you guys. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it so much.